Okay, so now all I need to do is my foot was on his hip. I'm gonna start go a little bit outside. So when my foot goes under, this hand also gonna start go under. Okay, so this hand start go under. So when I place my hand this way, he gonna drive into this way. So all I'm gonna do now is keeping the hands right there, following with my foot. When my foot comes out, I don't want to keep this hand right here because he gonna go in a free way. So I like to avoid that. So when my foot comes from the hip, my foot get out here, my hand gonna start sinking hands in. So now I'm gonna place my knee on the mat. Okay, so from here, guys, all I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna go upside down, and then from here, all I'm gonna do is see how I'm making an X, pulling his arm in the opposite directions. So from here, all I need to do is I'm gonna try follow my hip right above his elbow. So I'm from here, I'm gonna turn a little bit and find his elbow, and then go for the upside down umber right here. And it's really, really tight umber. All I need to do is just keep my hip and force my hip down. So let's see a different angle. So let's see this angle right here. So actually, let's go the other angle. Yes. So on this angle right here, I'm gonna keep both sleeves, right? Really strong grips. Go sideways, and I'm gonna go my lasso. Now I set my lasso. Sometimes my opponent stays there. He don't want to move around. It's not a problem. Take my leg out. When I take my leg out, at the same time I sink my hands in. Knee goes on the mat to keep my hip elevated. So now I'm gonna go upside down. And now the trick is I'm gonna like to pull the arm here. So now I'm gonna follow my hip in here. I wanna follow my hip exactly the top of his elbow, right above his elbow. I'm gonna turn, lock turn my hip upside down. All I'm gonna do now is let go the other arm because he has no base. And then from here, guys, I like to keep my forehead on the mat and then keep the arm really deep. And then from here, I'm just gonna go for the umber, and it's really a strong option from here if you guys control the hands. So let's see in a full speed in this angle. So I'm gonna go here. Last gonna go right there. And then go for the arm right here. Alright guys, so this situation right here, lasso, you have to understand, lasso guard is really strong, but that's not always gonna be opportunity for the lasso game. So you have to just to adapt to the whatever the opponents give to you. So one of the good ways that you can look up to it is start from the lasso. That's your main game right here. So really hit, really strong grips, goes to the side, right? I want to place my lasso right here, and things like he started like getting really heavy down and don't want to move anywhere. He just he knows that any inch he moves, he goes into my game. So I don't care what he's gonna looking for, but I always care what I'm looking to do it. So keep the both sleeves, right? So I'm gonna place a few times that I place flat is like just a few times, but most of the time I'm always sideways. That's where my leverage comes from. But for this case, I'm forcing my partner to give me something because he's not giving, he's not opening up. So I have to force him to do something. For the sleeves, I want to keep my feet on the hip. I want to bring my hip flat. When I bring my hip flat right here, one thing that I really like to do is bring this hand to my pocket, but it's not coming, so I have to lose leverage right here. My knee is really deep on the shoulder, so I need to do is bringing my knee close to my chest, dragging him, forcing him to give me the reaction. So from here, I want to bring my knee close to me, and now I have exposed this arm right here. So all I'm gonna do now is sink this arm to my pocket, and now I'm gonna force him to turn his hands this way. So now he's really trapped right here. All I need to do now is keep turning that way, my leg from the hip. Keep switching. Now when my foot goes over the shoulder, I let go the lasso and keep pushing, lock my triangle right here. The lasso is right there. So since we explain slowly, a good way to avoid him to roll or step over me is switch my grips quick and goes for the belt and keep line up my body on his body. So legs have to be stronger. Find the far shoulder, lock his hand with my rib right here. Find the far shoulder, my leg now, I like to keep my knee under his arm and now open my foot. My feet goes outside, goes hold his shoulder right here and force goes right there and try go over until he taps. Make sure to keep everything tight right there. So let's see a different angle. Let's see on this angle right here. Gonna be right here. Feet goes in here. Goes sideways. Lasso goes right there. Once I go flat, my idea is trap him with this arm because most of the time people think that you're gonna sweep him always for the lasso side. No, you're wrong. I can always go for, at least me, I always look to the both sides. Whatever I take first, it's a good chance. So when I go for the lasso, I'm gonna go flat. When I go flat, keep the arm inside because I wanna bring my knees close to me, force him to come forward. This hand is gonna go right in my pocket. Now I'm gonna turn my knees away. Leg goes over. When this leg goes over, I'm gonna involve his arm. Keep the sleeves, let go the lasso grip, switch your grips. For the sleeves, depends. Now I'm gonna start setting up. So a good way here, I want you guys see this. The hands, I cannot just keep both hands on his hands right here. I like to trap his hands with my rib. So now the hands is really trapped right here. Find the far shoulder and keep open your feet outside without disconnect your rib from the hand. Then from here, I'm just gonna go there and tell him a secret until he tap, and then I'm good. So let's do it at full speed on this side right here. Gonna be right here. Sideways. Lasso. Flat. Bring him close to me. And find this foot in the pocket.